Before we get into the review, I'd like to welcome back our special guests, the Mandalorian and Grogu.
Hello. It's been a while since we've been here. Grogu for sure is excited.
It's so nice to see you again, Grogu. Anyways, let's get on with the review, shall we? So, after we got 3 seasons of The Mandalorian show, we finally got a Mandalorian movie. And I gotta say, it actually turned out pretty good. I agree. Although, to be completely honest, I kind of expected more.
I can't argue with that. When they decided to make a movie about me, you probably would have thought I would start a bigger war against the Empire. But the Empire turned out not to be the main bad guys here.
Yeah, I mean, they might be associated with the Empire, but they're not the Empire. You know what I mean? Okay, so obviously this movie takes place after the 3rd season of the show, and the Mandalorian and Grogu are now working with the Republic. And they are now partners with Zeb. You know, the character from Star Wars Rebels, voiced by Steve Blum. Yeah, him. Which I'm guessing he appeared in the 3rd season at some point, and maybe he offered him this job. I don't know. I haven't seen the 3rd season yet, so I can't really comment on that. And I'm guessing this is why he didn't appear in the Ahsoka series, because he was working with the Mandalorian. I'm just wondering why he left his group, and when. Hopefully we'll find out soon enough.
I also would like to point out that they actually brought back Steve Blum to voice this character again for this movie, and they didn't replace him with a celebrity or anything like that. And I'm glad they didn't, because I don't think I can imagine anyone else playing this character other than Steve Blum.
So, here's how the story goes. After the Mandalorian's mission involving the Empire in the opening scene, the character played by Sigourney Weaver sent him on a mission requested by the Hutts, and that is to find and rescue Jabba the Hutt's son, Rada. And all of that was so the Hutts can give the rebels some information about a certain guy who goes by the name of Coin, and he's part of the Empire. However, there was a bit of a twist to that later on, where it turns out the Hutts never actually wanted Rada to be rescued, but captured. And Mando never knew anything about it until Rada told him.
He also told him that the man they were looking for is a man named Janu, who was the man in charge of a battle arena that Rada was in, and Rada was like an ultimate champion of that arena.
And after finding out who Coin is, Mando was like, why do we need information from the Hutts if they already know who he is and where he will be?
Which, knowing the Hutts, that was a pretty risky move. But I took that risk for the sake of Rada's freedom, because that was what he wanted.
Alright, now on to the characters. The title characters of the film, Mandalorian and Grogu, are definitely the main highlights of the film. Even though, to be honest, I'm not really a fan of Pedro Pascal. I personally think he's a boring actor, but the Mandalorian is one of the few characters that he has played that I actually like, if not the only one.
I'll take it.
And also, Rada, I think he's that same Huttling that me and Ahsoka had to rescue in the Clone Wars movie. And I gotta say, he was actually a pretty cool character in this movie.
And a very interesting one, too. Because he is different from all the other Hutts. Because all he really wants to do is just live a life of his own instead of being like his father. Yeah, and he somehow became basically a gladiator of sorts. Because he was like this ultimate champion of this battle arena. And apparently it was said that he was going to be free after the final match, but that turned out to be a lie. And the truth is, Janu actually wanted Rada dead. Therefore, Mando and Rada had to work together to escape this arena. Which I'll admit, that was actually a pretty cool scene. Yeah, and after that, Rada just ran away from Mando, because he didn't want to go home. And then Mando had to chase after him. That chase scene was also pretty cool. I also love the addition of Embo as well. You know, the bounty hunter sent by the Hutts to capture Mando after he broke the deal with them. He was a fun addition to this movie. Yeah, I mean, I don't know much about Embo. I don't know when he was first introduced. if he was ever introduced before, but nonetheless, he was still a pretty cool character. My favorite scene in the entire movie was the scene where Mando had to fight that giant snake creature. Without his helmet, might I add. Who would have guessed? Now, when it comes to the back qualities, I've heard that this movie was originally going to be the 4th season of the show, but it was then decided to make it into a movie instead, which I didn't mind that, but the problem is, the movie itself just didn't feel very cinematic, you know? It kind of just feels like I was just watching the show, but it was put on the big screen.
Yeah, and as much as I do like the Mandalorian theme music, it would also be cool if they brought back some of John Williams' score, even if it's not composed by him.
That would be great too, since this is a Star Wars movie after all. I also feel like there were some characters who deserve a bit more screen time. Like the Hutts, Embo, maybe Janu, and also Sigourney Weaver's character. She was only in the movie for like 3 or 4 scenes. Yeah, but despite that, at least her role in this movie wasn't pointless, because she was the one who sent Mando on this mission in the first place. Plus, she gave him a new Razor Crest, which was nice of her. Yeah, it's true. But still. Also, remember that little creature from The Rise of Skywalker? You know, the one who erased C-3PO's memories? Well, in this movie we have not 1, but 4 of those creatures. Yeah, I mean, I know this film takes place before Rise of Skywalker and all, but come on. We don't need references to a film that nobody likes.
Yeah, not even I like it.
But overall, I think despite the flaws that this film has, it was still a pretty decent movie. And one of the better Star Wars films we had in a while.
Yeah. And it honestly feels good that we finally got our own movie. Wouldn't you agree, Grogu?
Anyways, I think that'll be it for the review. I'm gonna rate this film a 7 out of 10. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please leave a like. But if you like this channel, please subscribe. See you next time.